Please state your name and your relationship to me.
My name is Joseph Griffiths, and I'm the father of Mackenzie Griffiths.
Okay. What was I like as a baby and toddler?
You were a sweet baby. You were a chubby baby. You were very good. You never really needy. You know, you keep yourself occupied. You were a very easy baby to raise.
Okay. Next question. What was I like as a preschooler and kindergartner?
Much more of the same. Like
Okay.
you always entertained yourself really well, and you loved it when either me or your mom would get down and play with you. You loved that, and I would just say like you're a very easy child to raise.
Okay.
Very good kid.
If you think back to what I was like when I was little, are you surprised at who I am today?
A little bit, yeah. Like yes and no. Yes, you're much more of the same. You can entertain yourself pretty much. You're not really needy, but in the same
Right.
token, you're the whole teenage years, it changes a lot. So
Right.
being a first time parent with you, first time teenage parent, it was an eye opening experience, to say the least.
Right. Okay, next question. Is there anything about me now that has always been true? So, like, have I always loved books? Have I always liked being funny? Like that type of stuff.
You've always had a really big head.
Okay. No, not like
No, you've always had a good sense of humor.
Okay.
I'd say that. You love to laugh. I think you get that from me and your mom. And you've always been real outdoorsy and real athletic. I think that hasn't changed.
Right. Okay. All right. Has there been a big moment that you think shaped into who I am today? Stop.
Yeah, the introduction to sports. The introduction to sports really has shaped who you've become today. And that was 6th grade. That was your first year in wrestling. And then in hindsight's 2020. If I would have known then what I know now, I would have had you in sports a lot younger.
Right.
But I just didn't know of the leagues around here, and I would have had you in wrestling and soccer and t-ball at an earlier age. But since you started playing sports in 6th grade, I think it's been a real revolution in your life, and you've really dived deep into that aspect of your adolescence.
4 more questions. Next. Who in our family am I most like, and in what ways?
You're most like me, definitely. And you're most like me, most definitely. The attitude, I can see a lot of, and I see a lot of myself in you. And it helps me remember, for better or worse, it helps me remember who I was at that age. And a lot of times I'm like, sometimes I got to give you a break because maybe I was the same way, and then
Right.
but you're a lot like your mom too. But I think you're more like me.
Okay. Who in our family am I most different from?
Your sister.
In what ways?
A lot of ways. Looks, attitude, the things you liked. I mean, you both like absolutely opposite foods. The way, I mean, you're a lot of likes in a lot of ways, but I think you're more different in a lot of ways, which is weird. You have the same parents and the same genetics, and you both come out completely polar opposite.
Okay. All right. Most teenagers explore lots of different identities. They try out new experiences and make new different friends. Have I tried a lot of different things as a teen, and did anything surprise you?
No, not much. You're not a crazy teenager in the typical sense. I think you're very, very easygoing, very, very driven. I don't think Yeah, no, not much.
Last question.
Yeah.
What are your most important hopes for me in the future?
That you finish what you start. If you start ROTC, by some miracle get into the academy, that you finish what you start. And if you start college, I hope you finish it.
Okay.
That's number one. Finish what you start.
All right, this is part 2 for our optional questions. We're going to go ahead and get started with number 1. How was Maddie's child development different from mine?
I was around a lot more. During your childhood, I was deployed a lot overseas. I'd say a good half of your childhood I was gone up until, 12, 13. I was gone more than half. Maddie's had me home all for probably 11 months, and then small tours here and there, but I think that's the biggest thing, yeah.
And what was still the same?
You have the same support network, the same parents, the same home, the same the same support network, the same family, the same everything that a child needs.
Okay. Last one. How have these differences strengthened or enriched our family?
Well, they've strengthened our resolve in our family, between me and your wife, between me and my wife, which I think only does good in your eyes. And then, of course, there's the aspect of, when I'm gone, things are different than when I come home. Things are different, but they strengthen. They don't weaken. And our family as a whole, as a bond, is only strengthened over time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And cut.